Alright, so we're back. So now we're looking at the key of A, and you know I've said this before in lectures. I hate to do the first two of them and not get through to the others. It may seem redundant, but this is the key of A on the piano. It starts at A here. I'm slipping all over the place. That's A half the minute. Sorry about that. But remember, when you go to a key, you're always a new key, right? You're adding a sharp. That sharp that you're adding is going to be the leading tone. So from C, we went to G, and we added the F sharp as the leading tone to G. From D, we add the leading tone to D, but we keep the F sharp. From A, we add the leading tone to A, and we keep the other two, C sharp and F sharp. And going to E, we add the D sharp, the leading tone to D. We keep the other sharps along with it, the other three sharps, C sharp, D, F sharp, and G sharp. This part, the leading tone to A. So let's just look at A here. Or we was looking at D, I guess. We don't want to skip over D before we get to A. So remember, E would become the second of D. Let's look at the shape that we have here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Does that look familiar? I would think so. Now I'm going to capo here because I don't want to cheat and go below the hard fret nut. Okay, so it's 2, 3, 4. Remember, it sounds like a minor because it is. If you're starting on 2, you're playing a D minor, a 2 minor rather, a Dorian minor. But in the key of D, that Dorian minor starts on E. Okay, but it's not going to go there. It's going to go to the 7th because it's key of D. So here's your dominant 7th. All right, so that's what's down here with this S2L here. Now here's your 5, 6. You say these things yourself, 2, 3, 4, or just realize and keep track. Try not to just do the pattern, and then go crazy with the 5, 6, 5, 6, 7. Try at first to just mentally identify with the number of the scale that you're playing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we know that 7 is up there. We're not going to get it. So, wow, it's really windy out there. We're going to use a S3L here. 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's the S3XL right there. Okay, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, when we hit this 5, 6 here, okay. Oh, it's not so much the wind. I think it might be my heater going off. I hope so. When we hit this 5, 6 right here, we're going to warp up for the 7 root 2. So 7 isn't going to be over to the left because of the tuning warp. So it's going to come up here, 5, 6, 7, root 2. So one thing you do have to know and remember, keep in mind, is that when you're playing any of the key of caged chords except C, so when you're playing A, G, E, D, A, G, E, D, right, A, G, E, or D, except C, you have to play the long pattern to get the note at all. To get the note at all. If you want to play the cage shapes, the pentatonic scales, all right, it gets a little complicated playing the pentatonic scales. Okay, once you get into this pattern, all right, so let's look at our let's look at over here for a minute. Okay, I'll try to get this onto the screen here. I knew I'd have trouble with this. All right, so we want to do a pentatonic scale, right? And so we're starting with the 2, 3, 4, because remember, in the key of D, E is the second, right? Key D. So the pentatonic would go something like 2, 3, 5, 6. Okay, we've got that. Root 2. Okay, we've got that. But, you know, we run into trouble when we want to then go. So we've got 2, 3. This is in C though. 2, 3, 5, 6. Root 2. We want to go to 3. We've got to go to the long pattern for the pentatonic. So it's just root 2, 3. All right, 5, 6. In other words, you do this pattern here, and just there's a don't plays in it. Don't play the 4, don't play the 7. So you can do a pentatonic like that. 5, 6. You get the whole R2, 3, and then 5, 6. That's pretty easy to remember, right? So you're going right. So you got 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to do the 5, 6 without the 7. 5, 6, skip, root 2, 3, skip the 4, 5, 6. And then from that 5, 6, we just go back to 7, root 2. If we're doing, okay, but you don't even want to go to the 7 at that point. So it's 5, 6, root 2. Now at that point, this 5, 6 and root 2 is an E shape there. Okay? But it isn't. Oh, it's A shape. Hang on. Alright, it wasn't E shape, it was C shaped. So we start down here. We're going to do the substitution down here. We want to do a pentatonic scale using the long things, and this is the first time I've done it. Alright, so it's 2, 3, 5, 6, root 2, 3, and then 5, 6, 5, 6, and then we're going to do that C shape from there. So it's now I'll tell you that's still doing, once you can play an entire pentatonic cage pentatonic scale from one of these chords here. So if this is a D here, I should have known this. I just had to do it through the longer pattern. That's going to be your C. I just messed it up. I'm sorry, because like I say, it's a key of D, and I keep looking at my white keys and want to play them. So an easier way, if you want to play scales, you're going to do the scales there. So you're going to go you're going to go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Once you get that 3, 4, 5, if you know you're well far enough away from the fret nut there, okay. So again, below C would be a D shape, and I could play that from here. This was the C one, right? The C one goes like this. But the D shape would be, yeah, the third of D is F sharp. You can't do it with the fret nut there. So that's